here, well, that's now you're bringing in your traps, and what's the point of that? If you're trying to focus on a muscle group, focus on that muscle group. Get it done. Do it right. Alright, we're back. It's shoulder day. So we're going to warm up shoulders the same way I warm up for chest day. If you don't know what that is, just check out my most recent chest video. Look back and watch the beginning of that if you want. But we're going to go over some things with shoulders that I do. And that's the other thing I want to say. I'm in no way a trained or educated, I guess, by like some sort of schooling. I'm no way trained or educated to be able to give advice on fitness, I guess you could say, fitness, diet, whatever. All I'm doing is I'm telling you my experiences and what works for me. So if maybe you're a beginner and you don't know where to start, maybe using some of my tips maybe will point you in the right direction or will help you as it has helped me. So that's all I'm saying. I'm just showing what I have learned, talking about what I have learned and what works for me, what doesn't work for me. So in no way is it like fact or like right or wrong. This is just me. So let's get at it. I'm gonna warm up to shoulder presses. So I'm gonna start with light weights and get up to, I'm gonna go a little heavier this time. So probably like 3 to 4 sets of 8 reps, and we're gonna see how that goes. Let's hit it. So I like the way the 55s are feeling for shoulder presses. I just did the first set of 10 reps. So I'll stick with the 55s, see how that goes. Maybe next week I'll up to 60s. I don't know. We'll see. Let's get it again. Second set done. I think we'll do 4 sets of 8. If you notice, I only did 2 warm-up sets. Usually that's what I like for me, around 2 or 3. I used to do a lot more warm-up sets, but I find it was hurting my actual working sets to do more than 3. So I sit around 2 or 3 warm-up sets and I jump into it. And I usually start off with like low rep heavy weight to begin with, just for size, strength, and mass building. I like to teach my body and to keep it accustomed to some heavier weight. I don't like to do lightweight high reps for everything. I start off with heavy weights, low reps, roughly around 8 to 10, 3 to 4 sets on my first exercise. The main exercise being like a compound movement, which is like compound movement also refers to like multi-joint movement. You gonna spot me? Don't claw that seat, I swear to God. Yeah, you little psycho! Okay, that's enough. That's enough. You did. You put a little hole in there. You little shit. So I think I've mentioned this before, but like for side laterals and rear delts, or for side delts and rear delts, I really like repping it out. I start with a moderate weight that I can get like 15 to 20 out of, and I go until I start to feel a burn, because I find as soon as I start to feel a burn, that's when I can feel the muscle. And then after that, I can start really focusing on contracting that muscle and pumping the blood into it. Shoulders are a very finicky thing, and people on the internet will tell you, and I'm gonna repeat that, you gotta be very particular about how you train it, because you can injure it and you can train it wrong, where you're not like, yeah, you get like maybe the noob gains out of it, but eventually you have to start figuring out for yourself what works for actually finding that muscle. So things that I've learned about like rear delts is that it takes a very small movement and slightly heavier weight than you think. So keep that in mind. That's why I use tens. I'll use tens on my my bent over rear delt movement, and I kind of like I stick my pinky out, as you notice, or like sideways hands motion. And for like side laterals, I'll just go. I go and I drain them completely. I fucking beat those things up and I fill them full of blood. I find that works best for me right now. And yeah, so that's why you see me like I'll rep it out, I'll change to a lower weight, I'll just keep going until my shoulders are on fire. And it's a different kind of sore, I find. The next day, and when working shoulders, I find it's not the same kind of soreness or pump, quote unquote, that you'll get from like a chest or a bicep workout. It's different. It's its own thing. So just be wary of that. Try different things. Try different things when you're playing around with everything, really, but I find shoulders is particular. Like, you never want to, you know what I mean? Like, you see some people in the gym, they come up and you don't want your shoulder to go towards your neck. That's traps. You know what I mean? That motion is traps. So like, if you were to bring your shoulder up like that, you know what I mean? You want to contract your shoulder, not your traps. So you come up, you find out where when what I do is I point to the ground and I keep pointing out. And then when my shoulder starts coming towards my neck is usually where I stop. If you watch a lot of pro bodybuilders, it doesn't even look like they're really coming up that far, you know what I mean? They're just swinging down here, and that's because they're focusing on the side laterals, and that's what triggers them. You want to come all the way up here, well, that's, now you're bringing in your traps, and what's the point of that? If you're trying to focus on a muscle group, focus on that muscle group. Get it done, do it right. Perfect. start out with depleting side laterals for the most part, and that way when I get into trying to trigger rear delts, I can count on the fact that my side laterals or my side delts have been burnt out, and hopefully my rear delts take over a little more, because it's always the dominant muscle group that wants to take over. So trying to trigger the rear delts is quite a difficult one. And I find that when I do that, when I exhaust the side delts, I do and am able to feel the rear delt quite a bit more. So now I think I might do some front raises for my front delts, and then we're going to move into some simple trap workouts, just shrugging the shoulders and shrugging it off. Let's get at it. Alright, so shoulders and traps are done. You know, I like to leave traps till the end, because for me it's not a weak point. I start off with shoulders and I burn them out, and then I do a little bit of traps. That headset that I was wearing, it's pretty cool. It's wireless, it's got onboard memory, it can also do Bluetooth to your phone, so if you're interested and want to see a review about that, leave a comment down below. I'll do a review for you. I did this workout fasted. I woke up this morning, drank my pre-workout, and hit it. So now I'm off to breakfast, get some protein in there, and looking forward to the next day. So you guys know, if you love this shit, share, comment, like, subscribe, and keep on pushing forward. Till next time, cheers.